Book Elevation to Krishna Consciousness, Chapter 3, Towards a Peaceful Society. So, today we're going to start with our third chapter, Towards a Peaceful Society. What was the title of our second chapter? Hard Struggle for Happiness. So, in this chapter, we discussed that people are struggling so hard, and result is same only. They are doing so much of hard struggle, so much of hard work for the sake of getting happiness in return. But we understood that there is no need of doing any hard struggle for getting happiness. All you have to do is you have to take the shelter unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. That's it. So no need to do any hard struggle or any hard work for the sake of getting happiness. One should understand this thing, that once he will take the shelter of Lord Krishna, then automatically he will be experiencing happiness without any struggles, without any hard work. He just have to put his efforts in chanting the holy names of Lord, hearing katha. He just have to put his efforts in serving Lord, and happiness will run after him. So it's that simple. So today we will be starting with our third chapter. Before starting this chapter, we will discuss this image here. This is wonderful image. I discussed this in Hindi class when we discussed this chapter in Hindi language. So we also discussed this photograph. Let's understand. When we understand our relationship with God, then we all will be happy. It is an essential factor for establishing peace in the world. So, yes, this is the bottom line, that when we will understand our relationship with Lord, what is our relationship? That we are fragmental part of Lord. Okay, we are fragmental part of Lord. So, what to do? Fragmental part means we can't be we can't experience happiness independently. If we are fragmental part of Lord, anyone who will understand his relationship with God, that I'm a fragmental part of Lord, then he will understand that I can't experience happiness independently from Lord. And he will start serving Lord. So when we understand our relationship with God, then we all will be happy. It is an essential factor for establishing peace in the world. So you will see, in world everyone is seeking for peace as well. Happiness, peace, these are connected terms only. If one will be happy, then definitely he will be experiencing some kind of peace, calmness. So here you can see this beautiful wheel says a lot. What does this wheel means? You will see there are many symbols in this wheel. There is Om symbol, symbol of Christianity, symbol of, means there are different symbols. So what does that mean? That we all are fragmental part of Lord, but because we are identifying ourselves with these different designations, different uh, customs, caste and religions, this is also the reason of why people are not experiencing peace. Why? Because they are fighting that uh, my dharma is very much, what to say, my dharma is nice than yours. And you will see here is one more symbol of, you can see a pigeon is there inside this at the center of this wheel. This signifies peace. So instead of all these symbols, when human beings will identify themselves that they are the fragmental part of Lord Krishna, then only they can experience peace. And that's why, see, this line is very much easy. Relationship with God is that our supreme personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. And we are fragmental part of Lord Krishna. And one who will understand this thing, then peace will automatically be there in the world. Once some people asked Srila Prabhupada ji that how all of these disputes and fights will vanish away, how peace will establish in the world. So Prabhupada ji told this same thing, when people will become Krishna conscious. And this is practical thing. How? You will see there are foreign countries which were enemies, wars and all. But when Prabhupada ji preached this knowledge of Krishna consciousness, then those people of different countries, assuming themselves enemies, when they became Krishna conscious, so they were actually dancing together in Hare Krishna Kirtan. So this is something incredible, isn't it? So this is the only one thing. There is no any other thing. This is the only one thing where people are lacking. That they are not understanding their relationship with God, despite they are identifying themselves with different caste and religions. All right, let's begin. Towards a peaceful society. Now here's come a nice shloka. Shri Bhagavan idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidiyate etadhyo veti tam prahu kshetragya iti tadvidah. Shri Bhagavan idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidiyate etadhyo veti tam prahu kshetragya iti tadvidah. Let's see. The Supreme Lord said, this body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. Bhagavad Gita 13.2. So, what Krishna is telling here, that this body is called the field. Let's understand with an example. Just like you will see that any farmer, he do farming in his field, and okay, he's working in that field, that farmer is working in that field, but do he identify himself with that field? That, oh, I am this field. No, he knows that this is a field and I just have to work here for the sake of my survival, for livelihood. That's it. So, this body is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. You will see that the fields in village, if we see the king, all the fields are of king only, but then also that king gives those fields to farmers. It happens like this generally, at least earlier it used to happen like this, that all the fields are of that king only, but that king gives those fields to farmers so that they may work hard in those fields, and they work for that king only, and from that work, from they get certain salary for that, for the sake of their survival, for their livelihood. So those farmers, they are so much aware about this thing, that these fields, whatever fields I have been given by the king, this field is not mine. This is of the king. So, same way, it is not sufficient to know that, okay, this body is a field, and yeah, this body is a field, and we have to work from this field. This is not sufficient. We should know this thing that even though this body is a field, but we have been given this field, this body, for certain work. Just like those fields that have been given to the farmers by king for the sake of work, certain work. It's not like, yeah, king has given us the field, okay, now we will live here. No, it has been given to them for the sake of doing some work, hard work. So, same way, we have been given this body for the sake of doing some services. Not some services, all the services should be for Lord. We are not this body, okay. We are soul, we are not this body. But these bodies have been given to us for a certain work, that is to serve Lord. So you will see Sattvic movement also preaches this, that we have been given this body by Mother Nature, and after some time we have to return this body back to Mother Nature. Okay, but for what purpose? We have been given this body, but for what purpose? This one should know. This is not sufficient this is not sufficient if we get this knowledge that, yeah, we are not this body, etc., etc. One should also know this, that what actually we have to do, what actually do we have to do with this body. So that is serving Supreme Personality, so that we may get out of this material world. This is one reason. Another reason, main reason, is to get love of Lord. You see now, this body is so poor actually, is it not? It always gives us some struggles only, sufferings only. But then also, very intelligent person is that who make utilize of this poor body in service of Lord. That is the actual, utilization of this poor body. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is is instructing Arjuna about the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragya. Kshetra refers to the field, which is the body, and Kshetragya refers to the knower of the field, who is the individual soul. So Kshetra is this body, and Kshetragya is the knower that, yeah, we are not this body, the individual soul. If land is to be cultivated, there must be some cultivator. Yes, it's not like that, okay, we have been given those fields, or that king has handed over those fields to someone, but there should be a farmer to work in that field. Same way, this body is a field, but there should be a fielder also, means soul. We all know this, that we the soul is there inside this body. That's why it is being conscious. Once soul left the body, then it no more be conscious. It becomes useless. So same way, if land is to be cultivated, there must be some cultivator. And if this body, which is likened unto a field, is to be cultivated, there must be a proprietor who can cultivate it. His Holiness Bhakti Ashray Maharaj was explaining this point very nicely. That you will see people, you might have heard this example from Prabhuji also, that you might have seen Normally, people use their for the sake of traveling, is it not? And for the sake of, like, they are using it, so they also have to maintain. So okay, we know this thing that we are not this body, then that doesn't mean that we become restless, we become careless, that yeah, we are not this body, then what to do? Like, we should not, then what is the use of doing things? Let's not do. What is the use of taking care of this body if we are not this body? It is actually waste of time. No, if we want to perform our services with this body, then we have to also maintain this body, just like we maintain that vehicle. We use it for traveling, so we maintain it, we put petrol in it, and we clean also, we also clean it. So same way, we have to maintain our bodies also, because that way only we will be able to do our services very nicely. That's why when it is recommended to have a nice healthy diet, Prabhupada ji has uh, pointed about this healthy diets and all so much. So it is very much important to maintain this body as well. That way only we will be able to do our services nicely. I don't know I should put this point here or not, but let me put, as you all are my family only. Often, like not often, but some days I consume lots of prasadam. Then I just become so much lethargic. My body becomes so much lethargic that, oh, now I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep now. So sometimes I have to cancel the class also that time. Recently I notified in the group that I'm feeling some kind of uneasiness. That day also I ate so much of prasadam. So I was feeling so much lethargic, very much lethargic. Like someone has intoxicated me or what. Something like that. So you will see we will have to take care of this body if we want to do our services nicely. We should take our dinner earlier so that we may wake up early in the morning. We should go to bed early at night so that we may wake up early in the morning and do our sadhanas very nicely. It's very much important to maintain this body. That way only we will be able to do our services nicely. Okay. Now we have these material bodies and it is our duty to cultivate them properly. See, that cultivation is called a karma or work. A person may come to our place with a hoe to cultivate land. Hoe is a kind of tool which works for in farming. So yes, he may come to our place with a hoe to cultivate land, or he may come to simply drink coffee or tea, or maybe prasadam jal. We have been given this particular type of body to cultivate and to attain required sense objects according to our desires. This body is a gift from God. God is very kind, and if someone wants something from him, he allows it. All right, he says, take this. And you won't believe this, that even demigods, they wait for this chance to get human life, this human form of life, so that they may also do bhajan kriya nicely. They also wait for the chance that when will we get this human life of form of life, because in this human form of life only one can serve God very nicely. So see how fortunate we are. Very first thing is we got this human form of life. Second, We are blessed with all the working senses. Now, why am I saying this? Because from last few days, you know, I know someone. She's my mother's friend, and he has a child. Like, it's been many years since I have met him. He was about 10 to 12 years that time. Now he might have grown up, definitely. So, yes, that child, even though he have got this human form of life, but he was not blessed with the working senses. His mind was disturbed. He was actually, I was really like, this thought was moving in my mind from these days, that he has also got this human form of life, but he can't serve God. He can't chant Hare Krishna because his consciousness is same as animals. I have seen him. That's why I'm saying this. His consciousness is disturbed. He can't hear Krishna Katha. He can't chant holy names of Krishna. So, see, we have been gifted with this human form of life, plus, we have been gifted with these working senses, and upon all of these, we have been gifted this process of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you will see there are many human beings roaming with their working senses, but they are not serving Krishna. They are not putting their senses in service of Lord. So, see our fortune, how fortunate we are. So, I was just thinking that that child, he have been given this human form of life, but then also his consciousness is completely like animals. I don't know what's the solution, how he can serve Krishna in this life. Anyways, moving forward. He says, yes. So Krishna is very kind. Krishna has given us this human form of life. Krishna has given us, blessed us with this intelligence to understand Him, means to follow this process. This is really not an ordinary thing, my dear devotees, that we are following this process. Every single day we are chanting holy names of Lord. We are chanting extra rounds. This is really not ordinary. And all the other services, consuming only Krishna prasadam, hearing Krishna Katha every single day. This is really not ordinary thing. So Krishna is very kind. Yes. And if someone wants something from he allows it. All right. He says, take this. Okay, Krishna, we want to serve you. Okay, you want to serve me? Okay, come, serve me. I'll allow you. So Krishna is so kind. His relationship to us, we will read this para, then we'll stop our class. Yes, his relationship to us is just like the relationship of a father to a son. The son may insist upon getting something from the father, and the father may try to convince him that what he wants is not for his good, saying, my dear son, don't touch this. This is not good for you. But when the boy insists upon it, the father will allow him to have it. From this, I'm remembering one pastime of Srila Prabhupada ji. In childhood, Srila Prabhupada ji was like, he was wanting to put his finger in a running fan. Table fan was there, and he wanted to put his finger in that running fan. So Srila Prabhupada ji's father was telling him that no, he was instructing him that no, don't do this, this is not good for you. But then also Srila Prabhupada ji was not obeying his father. Then his friend was also there, Srila Prabhupada ji's father's friend. Then his friend suggested that you make the speed slow of the fan and then let him do whatever he want to do. So then Srila Prabhupada ji put his finger in that table fan, and when he got hurt, he immediately understood. So same way, Krishna, Krishna does not want us to struggle. That's Krishna is telling this thing again and again in Bhagavad Gita. That you take my shelter, you pay obeisances to me, and if you will not do, then you will keep suffering. So Krishna is telling this in Bhagavad Gita, but then also, if we are, so much, we are rascals, then what to do? Krishna fulfills our desires. That okay, you do whatever you want to do. One day you will understand by yourself when you will be fed up with all these sufferings. So Krishna is so kind. It's not like Krishna is taking revenge from us. If Krishna is making us understand in Bhagavad Gita, but if we will not understand, then we will end up suffering so much. So, all right, we will continue this discussion in our next class. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.